Should Joe Rogan join ONE Championship? The UFC's ace broadcaster has been in awe of ONE Championship's Muay Thai and kickboxing matches, and he was especially impressed with Superlek vs. Radtong Jitmuangnon, following which he advised the UFC to do something similar. Now, while the UFC may not take the Muay Thai and kickboxing route, that doesn't mean Rogan won't be able to experience some violent striking contests up close. ONE Championship CEO Chatri Sityutong has offered Rogan a commentator's role in his promotion.
You and I know each other. Come on, anytime, man. If you want to commentate in the #1 league by far in Muay Thai, absolute killers and monsters, which you know already, Joe, give me a call.
Should Joe Rogan accept the offer? Moving on, a former UFC champion has exposed Pride as a promotion where fighters heavily relied on performance-enhancing drugs. But before we go into the details of the story, please subscribe to Takedown MMA and turn on those notifications. Thank you. Pride Fighting Championship is remembered by fight fans for its iconic fighters and memorable bouts. However, the promotion also faced controversies during its time. From fight fixing to connections with the Yakuza, a Japanese organized crime syndicate, Pride had its share of controversies. But none more controversial than the promotion's widely documented lenient approach to performance-enhancing drugs. Pride essentially allowed fighters to use PEDs without strict regulation. Here's what a Pride veteran had to say about it.
I loved fighting in Japan. I like what they stood for. You know, they was more about entertainment in Japan, and UFC was more always about who's the best. You know, in Japan they didn't care who's the best. Who was the most? Yeah, that was my style. I like exciting. But a lot of people think that was for steroids, though. They think the reason why Pride fighters didn't do well and when they came to the States was because of steroids. Yeah, because in Japan, they didn't test for steroids. I remember that in the rules meeting, they give you like a little sheet of paper, tells you all the rules. The first thing on the paper was like, we do not test for antibiotic steroids. Yeah, and I never heard of antibiotic steroids. I never heard, and I asked my coach, I said, what is antibiotic steroids? And a couple of fighters looked at me and started laughing. It was rumors that Ninja and Shogun was on EPO because they was doing crazy, never got tired. See, our rounds was 10 minutes. The first round was 10 minutes. So I was in great shape, but I wouldn't go crazy. They test for like weed and like cocaine or whatever. They test for that stuff, but they didn't test for steroids.
What do you guys think? Is Paige Vanzant looking to make a comeback to fighting? Since parting ways with the UFC a few years ago, Vanzant has entered the world of modeling, with OnlyFans being her main focus for now, but she hasn't forgotten her roots. Recently, the former UFC strawweight uploaded photos of a hard sparring session that left her gasping for air. Paige Vanzant's potential return to the UFC hinges primarily on her desire to chase the glory of a championship title. From a financial point of view, her existing income streams from various ventures make a UFC comeback seem unnecessary. Should Paige Vanzant make a comeback? Islam Makhachev wants to become a double champ down the road. The Dagestani is all set for his second lightweight title defense when he faces Charles Oliveira at UFC 294. The sizable favorite expects to steamroll the challenger once again, and should he emerge victorious come fight night, he would love to face the winner of the upcoming welterweight title fight between Leon Edwards and Colby Covington at UFC 296. It is worth mentioning that Covington recently called Makhachev out by saying that the Dagestani should fight real men, like Chaos himself.
I don't know what UFC have planned, but my dream fight for the second belt. Of course, I have the contract. Whatever UFC say, I will fight, no problem. Edwards versus Kobe, I really believe I can beat this guy. I look at the skills what they have champion, and I know my skills, you know. It's gonna be good fight. I'm not saying I'm gonna beat him easy or something like. It's gonna be easy fight. It's gonna be a hard fight, tough fight because he's big guy, you know. But I believe I can finish this guy.
Needless to say, Makhachev is hoping that Covington wins the title because he thinks Leon Edwards wouldn't want to fight him.
I hope he won't because I don't know what Leon say about this. I never heard Leon want to fight, but Kobe won. the fight. That's why I want Kobe win, and we meet one day.
Yeah. What do you think of that fight?
Honestly, very good fight. He have good stylistic, he have good wrestling, and it's gonna be US wrestling versus Dagestan wrestling. He's a good fighter. He will have good wrestling, good condition, striking. It's okay, but I think, my opinion, I stop his wrestling, and I can land at many good punches.
Who do you think would win a potential fight between Colby Covington and Islam Makhachev? Now, let's talk a bit about Makhachev's next opponent, Charles Oliveira, who's known for his exciting and reckless fighting style, which has turned him into a fan favorite in no time. Oliveira is known for his pressure style, which has overpowered some of the best fighters in the world. Against Makhachev, however, Oliveira will have to be calculated and patient, according to Michael Bisping, who thinks the Brazilian will lose again if he throws the game plan out the window and fights like a man possessed.
Charles has to have a game plan. He can't just go forward in a blaze of aggression. He can't just be winging it. I mean, at the end of the day, when two fighters like that engage in just an all-out brawl, if Charles is doing that, it's a coin toss, okay?
Do you agree with Michael Bisping? Former UFC bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw wanted to put off his recent shoulder surgery because he was worried it might signal the end of his combat sports career. And perhaps he simply disliked the idea of spending 6 weeks in an uncomfortable brace. However, he is now committed to the surgery, and there's no going back. In a recent Instagram post, Dillashaw gave an update on his surgery by saying, quote, "This was my 11th surgery from the career I chose. This was by far my most extensive surgery, and I pray my last. But, following in Hazardous Hal's footsteps, it probably won't be my last. I searched out the best shoulder specialist, Dr. Itamura. He was very happy with the surgery. Now, it's my turn for the healing process. I will be stuck in this gunslinger torture device, aka brace, for 6 weeks." Dillashaw last fought at UFC 280, where he was dominated by Aljamain Sterling after he dislocated his shoulder in the first round, following which he announced his retirement. Manel Kape is not ready to accept Israel Adesanya's apology. The UFC flyweight was set to face Adesanya's teammate Kai Kara France at UFC 293, but the Kiwi had to withdraw due to a concussion. During the pre-fight press conference, Kape verbally attacked Kai Kara France, prompting Adesanya to come to his teammate's defense. After Adesanya called Kape a midget, things got heated, but luckily security intervened before things escalated further. Once the situation calmed down, Adesanya apologized to Kape. However, Kape rejected his apology. Quote, "After all this talk at the press conference, he came to me backstage. 'Hey, no disrespect, we're African, we're brothers.' I said, 'We are not brothers. Look, my problem is with Kai Kara France, not with you. Why did you stand up? He can handle his business. If he's in the street with no cameras, I'll eat him too. You are a man to back up your words, because you're just one man. You're tall, but I'll eat you in the streets, believe me. You don't know what I'm capable of doing.' He backed down again. Asked them what he said to me backstage. 'No man, no size. I don't fear them, and I'm undefeated in the streets.' What do you guys think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. To stay up to date with the latest happenings in the world of mixed martial arts and boxing, please subscribe to Takedown MMA and turn on those notifications. Thank you for your continued love and support, and we'll see you in the next one.